Okay, this is Trixie playing Final Girl. I am playing against Hans on the Camp Happy Trails map. This is mostly just a test to see if this even looks good after I watch it back later. So, on the first turn, I am here. The killer is here. I've already done all of the setup just to minimize how long this video is. I am playing as Lori. I've got all my cards over here. It's not easy to see, but I have like the card shop over here, but I mainly wanted to focus on the map, the killer, and the horror level. So, first off, I want to get from over here to save some of these victims before Hans can come over here and start killing them all. But to facilitate that, I am not going to be moving this turn. I am simply going to discard a weak attack, a short rest, and a focus. I'm going to be discarding 3 cards in order to gain 3 time. You have 6 time by default each turn. I've discarded 3 cards, gaining 1 time for each card discarded, going up to 9 time to spend on cards. With that, I'm going to end my turn, which will put me into the planning phase where I can buy cards from this shop. I will spend 3 time to get a distraction. Then I will spend 4 time to get 2 sprint cards. And then I will spend my last 2 time to get 2 close calls. Then my time will reset back to 6. And then it goes to the killer phase. So Hans every turn will on his little card he has this ability where he will simply attack whoever is in his space every turn. But there's no one in his space currently, so we're going to draw a terror card and see what it does. Hans wants me, he's always wanted me. He's going to take 2 moves toward me and then attack. At the start of the game, Hans' movement is just 1. So he's going to move 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's going to move twice, and then he's going to attack in his space, even though I'm not the one in this space. This is still attacked. The victim dies, and the bloodlust goes up by 1. So now I have all these cards that I can use on this turn, all the ones that I bought last turn, so let's get moving. First things first, I'm going to try to sprint. So roll 2 dice, and depending on how many successes we get, will determine how far I get to move. It's 2 misses. It's not ideal. So I'm going to use a close call, which will let me spend 2 time and re-roll. I don't know where to roll these. Okay, that's 2 partial successes. So I can discard 2 cards to turn those into an actual success. I will discard a focus and a walk to turn one of these partial successes into an actual success, which will let me move 2 spaces for 1 time. Then we'll do another sprint. It's a miss and a partial. These are great rolls right off the bat. Love that for me. I'll get rid of close call and distraction to turn this into a success. to go 1, 2. When you move, you can take 2 victims with you, so I'm taking 2 out of there for another time. And then I'm going to use the last card in my hand as a walk. Hopefully I don't fail again. I sure did. Alright. So once again, I did not roll a success, and I have no more cards to discard. So this is just a straight up failure. But when you fail a walk card, you lose 1 health and lose 2 time. So I'm at 0 time, but I still get to move 1. So I'm going to move into the exit space and save 2 victims. And now I get to place these onto my Final Girl board to get a bonus for each one saved. I'm going to go ahead and use these 2 to get 4 time back, so that way I can still buy something during the planning phase. Okay. So that'll be the end of my turn. Not the greatest turn, having to discard over and over and not getting a single success, but that's okay. No natural successes anyway. So I'm going to, with my 4 time that I got, I think I'm just going to grab a distraction for 3, and then this will get reset back to 6. Then all these cards will go into the shop. Then Hans will attack whoever's in his space. There's no one there, so we'll draw the terror card. You can't save us, no one can. All victims in your space must panic twice. There's no one in my space, so we're good there. Hans then attacks whoever's in his space, which is still no one, and then moves into the space with the closed victim. So he's now in the fire pit with everyone, but nobody moves or dies. Yet. The problem is I have no movement in my hand because I just used it all, so I'm not going to be able to save anyone. All I'm going to do on this turn is use a distraction. Hey, we actually rolled a success this time. So when you get a success on a distraction, you lower the horror level by 1 and gain 1 time. So I'm going to lower this by 1 and gain 1 time. I could do more. I could do another focus to try to reduce the horror level more, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to use my 7 time on this turn to grab, I'm going to spend 4 to grab 2 sprint cards, and then 2 more on some close calls, and then that will be the end of the turn. So now Hans attacks at the start of his turn, and there are people here, so he will kill one of them, increasing the bloodlust. When this is increased, the horror level goes up, immediately undoing what I just did. We will reveal the terror card. Oh god, taking souvenirs. If there are any... no. So he moves to the closest victim, but he's already in a space with victims, and then attacks twice, and then for each victim killed, gets another bloodlust. So, kills 2 of these victims. This is not good. Bloodlust goes up twice, triggering the horror to go up, and then it goes up 2 more, because the card says it goes up for each victim that died. And because it's gone up enough, we now reveal his dark power, which is Feed. For every victim Hans kills, he recovers 1 HP. So we have to deal with that now. That doesn't mean anything yet, because I haven't even dealt damage to him, but... okay, after the killer phase, any victims that are in the same space as the killer on a turn where he killed people, they panic. So this victim here is going to panic. So we roll a die. That's a 5, which means they will run this way. So they're running toward the exit, thankfully. And now it's back to me. So I'm going to immediately start with a sprint, because if I can sprint 2 spaces, I can move and grab these people and then go back to the exit to save them. So if I just get a success here... Ooh, double success. So that means I can move 3 spaces with a sprint. So I'll go 1, 2, and then on the third move, I'm going to move into the dock. Because I may be able to grab something there later. But since these made it to the exit, I will save them. I will lower the horror level by 1. And then I will take an action card that costs 2 time or less. And I'm going to grab this search card. And now I'm going to use that search card immediately because I'm in a space that can be searched, which is the dock. I'm going to roll the dice. As a double 1, not great, but I have a close call that I can use to re-roll by spending 2 time. Oh, I should have lost 1 time for the sprint as well. That is a success. I could make it a double success and dig a little more, and I think I will. I'm going to get rid of a short rest and a weak attack to make this a double success. So now I get to look at the top 2 cards of the dock item pile. So we have a flashlight and a whistle. Not what I was looking for. Once per action, I can spend a time to look at the top card of the terror deck, leave it in place, or place it on the bottom, or I can spend 1 time to use the whistle. When used, all victims adjacent to you will move to your space, and then all enemies will move toward you. As long as you have the whistle, an additional victim will follow you. So I'm going to take the whistle, and then place the flashlight on the bottom of the dock pile. And then that'll use an extra time. I'm not going to use the whistle yet. And then, since I only have 2 time left, I think I'm going to end my turn here and use that 2 time to grab another search card to maybe search the docks again next turn. So everything will go back into the shop. This will reset back to 6. Hans will attempt to attack anyone in his space. There's no one there. Terror card. There's a fire. Uh-oh. Roll the die, and then that location bursts into flame. It's a 1. That's the cabins. So the cabins burst into flame. Anyone who was there would take 1 damage, but there's no one there. But all of its item deck gets burned and discarded. So I won't get to know what those cards were. But that's all that happens. Hans doesn't move. So, back to my turn. I'm going to use that search card that I got to search the dock. I got a partial success. I'll get rid of 2 focus cards in my hand to turn that to an actual success. And then I will search the top card of the docks. It is Pepper Spray. If the killer is in your space, you can discard this to immediately end their turn. A very strong item. So that took 1 time. I think I'm going to try to walk. That is a success, so I will walk into the lake for another time. And then I will pass the turn. And I will grab a sprint and a close call. That'll go back up to 6. Everything will go back to the shop. Hans will attack whoever's in his space. There's no one there. Terror card. He kept swinging his hammer and killing and killing. So he's going to move to the nearest victim and attack, and then move to the nearest victim and attack again. So nearest victims are over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so he's gonna go toward me. He's gonna move 2 spaces and attempt to attack a victim, but there's no one there. He's gonna move 2 spaces toward these victims and attack again, but he still didn't quite make it. So he managed to pass me. I guess I hid under the water in the lake, and then completely whiffed his attack. But now, the problem is these victims aren't going to want to follow me into the space with the killer. Ooh, but I could use the whistle once I'm in there. Spend time to use the whistle once per action phase. When used, all victims adjacent to you will move to your space. So I could walk into here, use the whistle, and then sprint to the exit, because they will move into my space with the whistle. So that's the plan. So we're going to walk. I did get a success, which is all I need. I don't need to make it a double. Wait. Actually, I do. Okay, I'm going to get rid of weak attack and short rest to make this a double success. So now I get to move twice. So I'm going to move... Oh, wait, no. I'm silly. I don't need to do that. I just need the one. So just the one success. Move 1 space into the space with the killer for 1 time. And then I will spend a time to use the whistle to move these victims into my space. And then I will sprint. And I got a success. Awesome. The other one was a miss. But I can just move 1, 2 spaces up here. There's an exit up here. And save these last 2 victims. So this will give me 1 health back that I lost from failing that walk earlier, and then I can go here to move 1 space. And I think I will move 1 space closer to this utility shed to hopefully try to find an item there of use to eventually start taking down Hans. But now I've saved 6 victims and I've filled up my final girl board here. So now this will flip over, revealing her ultimate ability. Whenever I am in the same space as an enemy and inflict damage, I do an additional damage. So that is really good. All of my attacks will get increased by 1. But I have no more movement. Well, I do have 1 more sprint, but I don't want to use it this turn. So I will pass the turn. I have 4 time. I'll grab 2 search cards in the hopes that we can find something in the utility shed of note. Hans attacks a space, there's no one there. Terror card. Run for your life. If there are no victims on the board, discard and draw a new terror card. There are no victims left, so we'll get a different one. That girl, what's her name? She can help us. Place 2 new victims in the space where you started the game. So I started the game here. So 2 new victims will show up in that space. The horror level will go up 1. And then we will get a new event. So the new event is Clingy Campers. No penalty for the first victim you save during the action phase, but for each additional victim, lose 1 health. Okay. But Hans doesn't move, so I'm going to sprint and attempt to make it to that utility shed. That is a success. So I will move 1, 2, spending 1 time. I'm going to search. I got 2 partial successes. I'm gonna get rid of a weak attack and a short rest to make it 1 success. I'm not gonna discard 2 more to make it a double. I don't think. No. I'll just take the energy drink for 1 time. This can let me gain 3 time or move 1 space by discarding it. And now I'm going to search again. Hoping for a double here. Just a single. Could make it a double this time, and I think I will. This time I'm going to discard 2 cards and make this one a double. So I get to look at the top 2 cards. So we have the Archery Bow or Fireworks. Archery Bow you can use 2 time to deal a damage at a ranger 1 or 2 away from the killer, but it doesn't synergize with my extra damage because I have to be in the same space. So I think I'm going to take the Fireworks, and we're just going to have a very defensive line of items here. Keep the Archery Bow on top. So I'm going to pass the turn there. I have 3 time left. I'm going to grab a sprint card for 2 time. This will reset back to 6. All the shop cards will go back. Draw a terror card for Hans. He wants fresh blood. He's going to move twice toward the nearest victim and then attack. He moves twice for each move. So he's going to make it all the way over there and then kill one of them. And then he would heal, but I still haven't dealt damage to him. Or it goes up by 1, almost in the red. And then this victim is going to panic. They get a 2. They're going to panic into the exit space. I want to get over here and save this last victim, because for each additional victim I save, I will gain 1 time. So I'm going to use this sprint card and hopefully get a double success, because I'm just that good. That's 2 partials. I have 4 cards I could use to discard. Alright, I'll do it. I'm going to discard 4 cards, making this a double success so I can move 3 spaces. So I'll go 1, 2, 3. For 1 time, save this victim, and gain 1 time back. And now I need to start thinking about doing some damage. So with 6 time, I'm going to spend 2 time on a guard in case he attacks, and then I'll spend 4 time on a Furious Strike to try to start doing some damage. Because he's doing 3 damage every time he attacks. So all these go back. Okay. Actually, I'm also going to use the energy drink to gain 3 more time, which I will use to gain a distraction to potentially lower the horror level, because it's all the way at 6, and if it goes up 1 more, I can only roll 1 die every turn. Alright. Terror card. He's just standing there. Horror goes up by 2, and since it's already at max, it's going to increase the bloodlust. And he's going to move in my space, but he's just standing there. He doesn't attack. Which is good for me. Because now, I'm going to use this distraction card. I can only roll 1 die, because of the terror level. I get a partial, which I'm going to discard a short rest and a focus to make it a success, to decrease that by 1 and increase my time by 1. So now I get to go back to rolling 2 dice. Now, I'm going to Furious Strike and hope to do some damage. We did get a single success, so this will deal 1 damage and reduce the horror level. But because I do an extra damage, I get to do reduce the horror level by 1 and then do 2 damage. And then my turn will immediately end. So now I have 7 time. So I'm going to grab another distraction for 3 time, and then we'll spend 4 time on a retaliate. This will let me block damage and deal damage. And this will reset back to 6. Okay. Now Hans is going to attack me because I am in his space. So I'm going to use that retaliate that I just got and hopefully block some of this damage. Oh, look at that. Double success. Double success means I block all damage and then deal 2 damage back. But again, because of my ultimate, all of my attacks at 0 range will get an additional, so I will deal 3 damage. Taking out nearly half of his HP in a single turn. But then we still draw the last terror card. Place Hans with the farthest target possible, increase horror by 1, and then draw the next terror card. Well, Hans is already with the farthest target possible, which is me. I'm the only target. So we will increase horror by 1, and then draw the next terror card. There are no more terror cards to draw, so the killer's turn will end, but now we flip over their finale card, and it is Bloodbath. So he's going to move twice every turn and then attack twice every turn, which is really bad. But I have a lot of defensive cards. I've been preparing for this moment. I have Fireworks, which can distract him for a turn, and I have Pepper Spray, which can immediately end his turn. So things are looking good there. And on the bright side, now that there are no more terror cards, no more victims, Bloodlust won't go up anymore. The horror level is not going to go up anymore, so I don't have to worry about this going into the red. So I'm going to start with a weak attack to hopefully deal 2 damage. A double success would not make me take any damage. Okay, there's a regular success. If I discard, I will. I'm going to discard a focus and a walk. And all this does, it doesn't do any more damage, but weak attack on a single success means you deal damage but take damage, but on a double success, I don't take damage. So I will deal 2 damage because I'm getting extra damage from my ultimate ability. I'm going to simply end the turn there, and I have 6 time I can spend. So I'm going to grab a Guard to block damage and a Furious Strike to hopefully deal some damage. Grab all my cards back. So he's now going to move and attack twice every turn. So he's going to attack me once. I'm going to use a Guard and hopefully roll well. Oh, okay, we're getting lucky. That's another double success, so that will prevent all damage. He's attacking for 4 every turn. So now on his second attack, I'm going to use another Guard. Hopefully roll just as well. 2 partials. A failed Guard will still block 1 damage. I also have 5 health, so I'm still not dead even if he hits me here. You know what? I think I feel so safe with all of my defensive options here. I think I'm just going to let that fail. And then the Guard will simply block 1 damage, and I'll take 3, putting me at 2 HP. Which seems scary, but I'm feeling pretty confident. Okay, so that's the end of his turn. Comes back to my turn. And now... Oh yeah, I don't think I ever lowered this from the Furious Strike. He's got 5 HP left. I'm going to do a Furious Strike. And hopefully... that is a success. And you know what? I'm going to get rid of a... focus and a walk to make that a double success. And on a double success, This will deal 2 damage and lower the horror level by 1, and it doesn't end my turn. So this is going to do 3 damage, lower the horror level by 1. He has 2 HP now as well. But since my turn isn't over, I'm going to spend 2 time to place down the fireworks, because I can place them in an adjacent space. So I'm going to place them on the dock here. And now on the killer's turn, when he has to target, he will, instead of choosing me as the target, he'll choose the fireworks and he'll walk away from me. And then it'll basically end his turn doing nothing. Okay. So with that, I'm also going to discard 2 cards to get 2 more time. And then that'll end my turn. So I'm going to spend 2 time on close calls, because they only cost 1 time each. And then spend 4 time on a retaliate, just in case I try to kill him and he comes back alive and then tries to kill me. So all these cards will go back to the shop. Okay. So now the killer turns. He chooses a target to move to, but instead of me, he's going to go to these fireworks and discard them. And then he would attack twice, but there's nothing there to attack, so his turn just ends. So it's back to me. And I'm going to attempt to walk into his space. That is a fail, but I'm actually okay with that. So that's going to make me spend 2 time, lose 1 HP, and then move into his space. And when I'm at 1 HP, I get Adrenaline Rush, and I get an extra die to all my rolls. So I'll actually get to roll 3 dice now. And so now I'm going to weak attack. And if this hits, it will deal 2 damage and kill him. Now I really want to get a double success here, so that way it doesn't kill me in return. So that's 2 partials, which I'm going to discard the 4 cards I have in my hand to make that a double success. So now this weak attack is going to deal 2 damage, and it won't deal any damage to me. So now it all comes down to this final health token. If this has hearts on the back of it, Hans will revive, and it'll immediately end my turn and go to his turn. If it's blank, then I immediately win the game. It has 2 hearts on it, he comes back with 2 health. Just when you think it's over, it's not over. Alright, so he comes back with 2 health, and then my turn will immediately end. I still get to go to the planning phase, though. And so I'm going to use my 4 time to buy a Furious Strike. And then he is going to attempt to attack me twice, which would kill me. But I'm going to use this pepper spray that I have still, which is while he's in my space, I can just discard this and end his turn immediately. So now his turn ends, and it comes straight back to me. And I'm going to play a Furious Strike, and all I need is a single success. And I'm rolling 3 dice. If I get a single success, I will win the game. That is a single success. I could make a double success, and you know what, just for the sake of it, I'll discard 2 cards, make that a double success for Flair, and then this will be dealing a total of 3 damage because of my ultimate that's giving me +1 damage, reduce the horror by 1, and kill Hans successfully. So that was playing as Lori against Hans at the Happy Camp Trails. So this was a test just to see what this will look like later, and hopefully it looks good. So, nice win for me.